Hey there, everybody. It's just mighty nice to be back together again. I want to tell you about an exhibition opening that I went to a week or so ago at a fine arts museum on the campus of Rollins College here in Winter Park, Florida. It was the first time ever that there had been an exhibit put together of the work by the Neapolitan painter Francesco de Mura. Now, Francesco, in his day, was a rock star of the whole Neapolitan Baroque art world. He was born in 1695, lived a long time, and the really sad thing is that many of his works were lost during bombing raids of the Second World War. Supposedly, the places where much of his work was housed, and some of it was painted on walls, frescoes and that sort of thing, were supposed to be on the do not bomb list, but somehow there was a mistake. The buildings were bombed, and much of his priceless work was lost. So, this is the first time that the remaining paintings of his have been collected from museums around the world, here in the United States, and from private collections. So this was a lovely opening, as I say, and included in the dignitaries who were there was a fellow named Federico Castelluccio. If you're a Sopranos fan, the HBO hit series, you'll recognize his name, of course, because he was one of the stars. And he was not there because he had starred in The Sopranos. He was there because he was a passionate art lover of this particular artist. And in fact, had loaned 4 of his own paintings to this exhibition. So he was down there for opening night. And someone decided that I should meet him and hear what he had to say, and escorted me over to see what was going on. I didn't know who he was, just some tall, handsome, Italian-looking man. But after he talked for a while, and because friends of mine knew him and knew of his interest in this particular artist, I could tell from what he was saying, oh my goodness, this is Federico. Well, I wouldn't have guessed because he was so nice and so unassuming and so non-Hollywood-like, whatever that means, so knowledgeable about these paintings. He's actually a very fine painter himself and has exhibited his own artwork in many places. And what I was fascinated by is how passionate he was about this art and not about himself. He so wanted to make sure that we knew all the wonderful things about this artist, about the eras of his painting life when he used a darker palette or a lighter palette. Of course, I loved it because his 2 major colors are my favorite colors in the whole world. So that was a little added wonderful thing for me. But it was lovely to see this passionate, grateful man doing everything he could to pass on to us what he just loved. And it's so attractive, not only in him, but in anyone, when we can get out of the story of me and all about what I love and into how can I increase your enjoyment. In this case, it was the masterworks, but it could be about anything, just whatever we love. So somehow my inclination was to pass this on to you and say we can just all learn something here. So my question to you now for reflection is, what are you passionate about? Anything? Lots of things? If you don't feel yourself excited about what you're doing, what you're offering, what you're learning, where you're traveling, who you're in love with, just being you. Now, unfortunately, when we're very young, we unlearn our passion. We unlearn our enthusiasm. It gets squashed in there somehow because it's too loud or it's too noisy or the parents are embarrassed or it brings up stuff for them that they want to have brought up. So as part of our becoming adults, we've learned to hold back and not clearly let the world know how we feel about things, about which we really care a great deal. So if that's so for you, Now is time to rev that enthusiasm back up, to make sure you are offering what you love to offer, or you're pursuing what you love to pursue, or you're saying what you want to say. Just like those little kids who were enthusiastic about everything. I'm reminded of a woman that I knew in another city in my transition between Colorado and Florida, my two major places that I've lived. And in this 1 year or so of an interim time, we were roommates for a few months. And she was speaking a lot about how much she did not like her job, which was in the insurance industry. So I would ask her, well, what is it that you want to do? What would you rather do than what you're doing? And she would say, I don't know. I don't have any idea. So I looked around her house where I was living, and there were animal pictures everywhere. All over the walls were animal pictures. On her coffee table was this great big, beautiful coffee table book of wild animals. And I would say, well, for a clue, as I look around your house, it looks like animals are really important to you. That's all I see. She said, oh yeah, yes, that's really true. You know, what I would really love to do is work for a veterinarian. I would love to be a vet tech. And I thought, well, it's no wonder that you just hate being in the insurance business, because that's a far cry from being involved with what you're passionate about and what you feel grateful for and what you feel alive about. And another thing, the rest of us lose out when you don't give your passionate gifts, or when you don't give them wholeheartedly or full-throatedly, so to speak. And with that kind of passion comes gratitude. We've all heard that gratitude is just the best thing that we can come up with, because again, not only does that change our energy field, it increases the frequency, it allows more of the good things to come to us. It's a healthful thing to do. Lots of reasons to feel grateful, not the least of which is having a love affair with your own life. And your own life is always available. You don't have to make a date with it and hope it shows up. So I hope this day you will decide life is too short not to be passionate and love what you do. I love what I do, which is talking to all of you all. Just give me somebody to talk to, and I'm just as happy as I can possibly be. I want you to find that. And it's starting with your source, whatever you want to call that, whether for you that's God or the great mystery or the source, whatever, of which you are an equal and essential and eternal part. Keep this in mind. Source is passionate about you. Source adores showing up as you and just loves seeing you being shining you. Wow. What? You mean I am that passionately loved, and therefore there are grounds for my passionately offering what I have to offer? Yes, indeed. Who knew that you could have a passionate love affair with your own life? Something new to learn every day. So start now. Your passionate love affair with you is available anytime, but why wait? Hope to see you next time. Bye.